Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV. And hello to our friends who are listening on Business Talk Radio. I am Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners. Joining me every week for this fabulous program is my co-host, friend. He's also a talking head here at USA Global TV, which means he's an expert presenter, and he is the principal of the British School of Excellence. Let's bring him on. Welcome, Philip Sykes, to the program. Hello, Philip.
As always, hello, all you wonderful people out there who take time every week to engage with us. It's a true joy, as always. And Dr. Jacalyn, as I always say, I so look forward to that Friday, not because it's Friday and the end of the week, because the show. And I will kill the bull to be here and make sure that we get the show moving every Friday.
Well, I certainly appreciate that, especially when I know that you're traveling, and it's also challenging sometimes with the technology and energy gods, but it's all working well. So thanks again. Philip, you brought a wonderful guest. I'm very excited to have her come out. But before we bring her out, I'd love to just spotlight you and share with our audience, what is the British School of Excellence and what do you offer there?
Dr. Jacalyn, that's such a wonderful question, as always. And to all of those of you who humor this introduction every week, I had an amazing conversation with a gentleman who engaged he and his organization into the British School of Etiquette back in 2021 before we pivoted to the British School of Excellence. And I have to say that he gave me a bit of a rap over the knuckles. He said, Philip, I wish people would understand how dynamic your organization is. He said, it's like a can with no label on it. When someone opens up that can, it's like a can of, excuse the term, kick-ass. And he said, what your organization has done for our organization is exponential. They sell fine whiskies and fine wines to investors, and their business has increased 35%. So here at the British School of Etiquette, anyone out there in the British School of Excellence, anyone out there that is interested in finding out what we do, I'd urge you to go to our website, which is www.thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. We focus on children. We focus on teenagers, their mindset and manners. We have an amazing program, and actually mindset and manners for teenagers and our Etiquette program starts on Monday the 14th through to the 17th. So 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, starting at 5 p.m. UK time next week for teenagers and children. Very, very dynamic program. We then shift into our The Polished Professional, a trademark name to our organization, where we work with individuals and organizations that really want to take on board the power of etiquette and manners and emotional intelligence to elevate themselves to the next level. Then again, our Train the Trainer, our flagship program, which is for anyone out there who really, really wants to take their lives to a next level, firstly. Secondly, take their business. Now, it might be a coaching business. It might be a business in any particular field. But if they really want to take their business to the next level and their teams, then the Train the Trainer program is an unbelievable program that is run over 5 days. We then have the most wonderful, amazing emotional intelligence faculty run by my friend and colleague, Richard Cullinan. And again, life-changing programs. We have a 5-week program. And the reason why it's run over 5 weeks is because emotional intelligence is a very serious journey. You can't just learn emotional intelligence at a drop of a hat. It's an ongoing process. And Richard takes you on this 5-week journey. And if you're interested, you can then bolt on 2 extra weeks to leading with emotional intelligence. And that's just scratching the surface. We do private coaching, we do presentation skills, we do body language analysis, and we focus on your image. How do you present yourself? How do you show up every single day? And that's just scratching the surface. So thanks, Dr. Jacalyn, for the opportunity to share with the audience.
Thank you, Philip. I just was thinking about what you said about body language. Even though we are on devices, electronic devices, you can still tell a lot by a person's body language, can't you?
Hugely, hugely. Body language, as we always say, and we've shared many times on this particular show, 55% of your communication is just through your body language. 38% is your tonality, and only 7% is that spoken word. So I always sort of share with our teams and students is it's what you don't say that counts. And you're so true, so true, Dr. Jacalyn. Body language is such a powerful, incredible ingredient in how we connect and communicate with people.
And we can also tell a lot about whether or not people are listening to us too, which we've discussed before and we'll keep discussing again. We want people to open their hearts and their minds to just being authentic listeners. So I'm listening to you
100%.
and I'm always learning from you. So thank you, Philip.
Vice versa, always. And then again, Dr. Jacalyn, the listening mentor, the power of listening that you deliver is extraordinary. And for those of you out there, the power of listening will be featured under the banner of the British School of Excellence in the very near future. We're just settling down with our new website and this particular offering, which I urge every single one of you out there to take on board. Because think about how powerful listening is. And I mean, listen to understand, not to respond, for a start. Listen with all your senses and really, really find out, is it convenient to connect with the individual you want to connect with? Does it suit them? Is the timing right? Because all of these facets make up so much of the power of connection through the power of listening.
Thank you so much, Philip. I'm really excited to team up with you and the British School of Excellence to offer these courses to help people learn how to be elevated and authentic listeners. We have a fabulous guest backstage, and I would love to spotlight you again so you can introduce Silvia to our viewers and our listeners.
Great. It's such a joy. Silvia came into my life, and I hopefully came into her life in a professional capacity almost 4 years ago. Silvia, originally from Venezuelan, came over to Canada at the young age of 15 years old. And you can imagine being 15, how you have to sort of up your roots as a teenager and shift to a completely different country. Silvia's done incredible things in her life, and her background, she focused on charity, she focused on community campaigns, she focused on beauty pageants, and she speaks 3 different languages. She's an entrepreneur. She's got more than 10 years of experience in the field of education, working for the English Montreal School Board, and she is now, believe it or not, a certified etiquette coach and instructor from our organization out of London. And what's so wonderful is how Silvia has taken her whole experience in her life and she's bolted on the coaching and training from our organization, and she has now taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, and she is the first time the Latin Awards of Canada Gala in Montreal, Quebec, and has been doing it ever since. And in 2018, she initiated Silvia's Academy, which has always been her childhood dream that comes to life out of the order of to empower and to really offer guidance to young girls, to women, through a more positive and assertive personal presentation, and really giving them the confidence and the tools to put their best foot forward. And she now grows rapidly as a national and international pageant coach for contestants for Miss World Canada, Miss Eco Teen in Egypt, Miss Reina I can't even pronunciate Reina's surname. It's such a wonderful, long, beautiful surname. From Bolivia, Miss Asia Canada and British Columbia, and Miss Grand Belgium, to just name but a few. And in 2021, HHQ, Heritage Hispanic Quebec, recognizes her unparalleled work, awarding her with the first edition of Prix de la Femme Hispanique du Quebec in the category of empowerment. So without further ado, I really hand you over to a dear friend, an amazing woman, for you to really gain some unbelievable insights into what Silvia has to share with all of us.
I'm so excited to bring someone who has a dream, a childhood dream come true, and she's here to share with us today. Welcome to the program, Silvia.
Hello.
Hello. Wow,
Wow.
you've been quite busy.
Yes. Thank you for the lovely introduction. Thank you for the invitation.
It's a pleasure to have you here, especially with all of the wonderful work that you're doing for young girls and for women. And you, in Philip's introduction, he mentioned that this was a childhood dream of yours. Where did the dream begin, and then how did you put it into action?
Well, that's a great question. I actually had this idea. I'm an only child, so I had no brothers, no sisters, no cousins, and I always had a hard time relating to other people or approaching them. I was very shy at times as a child, so I could be very extroverted on my own time alone. But when it came to approaching, making friends and that sort of thing, it was sort of hard. So my mom decided to take me to what we call in South America modeling school. And they teach you all sorts of, it's like the same idea as a finishing school, but it's a little more, with the aesthetics and a bit of a Latin twist to it. So we do a lot of photo pose, runway modeling, a wardrobe and things like that. And there's also the social etiquette, table etiquette, etc. So she sent me there and, kind of asking for help. And then it didn't seem to have much of an effect of me back then when I was 13. But with the years, you just sort of planted a little seed there. And I guess that seed grew a little bit more every time as the years went by. And then when I came here to Canada, I found that it really helped me a lot. And then with time, I said, you know what, there's nothing like that here near me in Montreal, at least in the city where I've been ever since I got here. And I decided to launch this idea one morning on January 2nd, 4 years ago. I woke up and I said, you know what, this is it. I'm doing this. If I felt like that, I'm sure that there's a lot of girls out there who feel like that. They go through all the troubles of confidence and self-assurance and all that stuff and not feeling really sure about themselves. And I started recalling on all of those things that my mom had placed there once upon a time, and I found them so useful, and they have been helping me ever since. So I thought it was a great idea to launch this forward and bring that same help to other girls who needed it.
Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. And I know Sylvia hasn't been plain sailing. I know you've had and put a huge amount of time and energy. It's not the only thing that you obviously focus on in your life. So you're juggling many, many balls. And I know from having met you and worked with you and obviously kept very much in touch sporadically that it's taken a huge amount of dedication, but it's really at the end of the day not about giving up, is it? It's not an option.
No, you cannot. Once you have young girls and young women following you and asking you for advice and coming up to you for guidance, you become sort of a bit of an anchor. You become that that red buoy floater thing in the middle of the sea where sort of somebody just needs help, wants to come and hold on to. So you got to be there. And there's been a lot of work. I've always been also very involved with my community here, with my Venezuelan community. We have a huge following since my husband also, we own a restaurant. He owns a restaurant. So it has been a huge social hub for our community here in this part of Canada. And there's a lot of people that have relied on us for help. So we have brought the two together, the two companies together, to be able to bring forward a lot of different sorts of help. So there has been help to, I encourage, this is also part of what I bring to these young contestants and young girls that enroll in our courses to be part of their community. It's not only about them, but also to bring forward and to help and contribute to their communities and to their surroundings, to be active members of their society, which I think is a great growing experience for anybody, especially at a young age. So it's not only about you, it's also about sharing it with who you have around you in your community. So that's a really nice message for them to learn.
We're getting
Oh,
some
that's
nice
wonderful.
messages from the audience. This person is probably in our private group, Dr. Jacalyn's Health and Wellness. So thank you. We need more of this. If you want to put your name in the comments, that we'd love that. And also from Victor, Silvia is the best. She helped my young daughter, guiding her, giving her the tools to succeed for the future. Any comment you'd like to make to Victor?
Boom.
Yes, like him, yes, there has been many happy parents. I get constant feedback from a lot of happy parents and happy clients. My clients are my girls. I call them my girls. I have had from 4 years of age, and I'm working up till 40 years old, with women who are 40 years old who are preparing for different contests, and they send me their feedback and tell me how much they have taken advantage of the help and how beneficial it has been to be able to solidify those skills or to discover new things about themselves. And it's really nice to know that you are helping those and you see it in action. You see these girls traveling abroad and representing their country or representing their project, or their social platform, their project, of what they want to bring forward to their competition. You see the girls here home, getting jobs, and can I put you as a reference? And all of these things are so encouraging for parents, for their parents and themselves, to see that what they're learning is actually being put into action, and it shows. So it's really rewarding to have that kind of feedback. It's very nice.
Thank you, Victor.
Huge congratulations. And I love that. And Sylvia, something that I'd love to, I mean, the fact that you're focusing on amazing young ladies is just, it's needed more now than ever before. And I know we say this, Dr. Jacalyn and I know you absolutely advocate this, by helping and educating our youngsters, we are preparing and securing hopefully the future. But what really is fascinating as well is that there are women in their late 30s and 40s approaching you, and I'm embracing, and this, Sylvia. I say the first thing I say in any of my coaching programs, I wholeheartedly hold women in high regard for on every level for all the right reasons in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you ladies take on too much. You just incredible characters and animals and creatures. And often what obviously happens in society is, couples get married, then the babies come along, and it's all very focused on the household, on a career, on the children, and you're juggling 4 or 5 balls. Whereas dad wakes up in the morning, off he goes to work, gets home in the morning, my underpants and my socks and everything's back in the cupboard. How did that happen? Abracadabra, kaboom, and it just happens, right? And obviously, if we're privileged to have housekeepers, that's another ball game. But my case in point is this: I love seeing these amazing women who've gone through the process of nurturing and taking on board and making their whole life around their children. It's wonderful. But then there comes a point where they need to sort of build their own confidence again and their own rediscover themselves. And there's a lot of people out there who really have lost their confidence for obvious reasons. They're brilliant at what they do, brilliant. But putting their best foot forward, going forward, is something that a lot of amazing women out there tend to lack. And so what you're doing is just, I salute you in that.
Thank you. Well, I have had amazing teachers who encourage me, and you have been one of them along my path. And I've been super fortunate to have had these amazing experiences. So part of that, the root of me continuing to do this and working so hard at this, is because I want to be I want to be that best a version of me. I also want to be able to achieve that ideal educator, facilitator, that teacher, that guidance that I needed so much when I was a child. And somehow it was put along my path. And I've been encountering these amazing mentors, teachers, guidance, facilitators, instructors. So I want to be like them. I want to be part of that. So Philip here, like he mentioned before, I was in his Train the Trainer course back in 2019. I went to London, and wow, what an amazing experience. the confidence, like you said, you sort of gain back, you get some stuff, and then along the way you lose it, and you sort of get rusty on other things. The experience I had in London and his Train the Trainer certification was absolutely incredible, and what it's done for me for my business. So now at another scale, I'm sort of doing, or offering these trainings to young women here and little girls here, and it's so helpful to see the effects of those things. So I've been very fortunate. So I hope to pass on and pay it forward, as we say.
Brilliant. Silvia, I really appreciate what you're saying. And we've got a comment from Victor, and then I have a question for you. Victor writes as a follow-up, after that, I asked her to train part of my personnel in my restaurant to improve our service. I thank her for all her help. Very nice.
Yes. We spoke to the employees. I do also different sorts of professional trainings. I've worked with different companies also for orientations, for groups that come from Africa, and they come for certifications on different gestion de projet, like project managers. They come from different countries in Africa, and they have come to Montreal, and they have look up for me to do the orientations and their welcoming sessions, and to arrange their caterings and that sort of thing. It's always nice to count on that person that can be the liaison, to be the welcoming face, to be that welcoming card that lets you in and shows you different lights on different things. So it's I've done all sorts of things when it comes to the social skills, and to bring that sort of kindness, and always with the good use of etiquette, and it's always nice and comforting to have that there.
Thank you for sharing that. And I hear again and again about confidence, and I want to take a look at being involved in a pageant. I think the whole pageant industry has evolved in many ways, from being a swimsuit competition to so much more. What do the contestants, your clients, end up taking away from the experience of being involved with a pageant?
Well, first and foremost, I would say absolute confidence. When I get my clients come to me from all sorts of paths and walks of life and all different perspectives. A lot of them come, listen, I need more confidence. Can you help me with my runway? Can you help me with the way I dress? Can you help me with my public speaking? I need to practice interview skills. I'm so nervous. What do I do? So there's all sorts of different skills that people look nowadays. And one thing that the common denominator here seems to be confidence and the way they project themselves. A lot of the times we have a lot of academics, we have a lot of preparation on theory and on the books, and we read a lot. But what we sort of lack is, we tend to, when the moment arrives, then we tend to get so caught up in how do I look? Do I look the right part? Or am I sitting properly? Or am I going to be able to greet the person properly? So these things actually take away from what you're actually going to do there. So what I tell my clients is like, listen, we're going to discover what you have, and we're going to polish those up. And we're going to also do a lot of digging, a lot of discovering for things that you didn't even know you had, because I'm sure you have all these amazing abilities and skills, but you just don't know they're there. So let's dust them off and polish them up and discover some new ones. And it's like, oh, wow, I've come to the right place, because they feel supported, they feel understood, they feel backed up. And most importantly is that a lot of people feel that way. It's not just one person. It doesn't matter how prepared you are. You're always going to be nervous before, going on stage or going on an interview. It's completely normal. So I think the best thing we do for them is help them with that confidence of, their projection, and it's okay to be nervous, use those nerves to be excited, turn it into a positive thing, and don't let that get the best of you.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to hear about the fact that more and more young women in general, are getting the confidence that they need.
And to be able to bring amazing projects forward, because I think beauty pageants, like you were saying, a lot of people are like, oh, but beauty pageant, it's so, materialistic and superficial. Actually, you'll be surprised. There's a lot of beauty pageants doing incredible things for women out there, and they're just acting as platforms for launch to impulse and project amazing social aid projects that are there, and that otherwise, the girls, they just like to go that way, and they see it as an amazing possibility, an amazing way of launching their projects and to get heard and to get some exposure. So it's a little more challenging because they become basically bona fide job interviews in which you have to fill literally all the theoretical and aesthetics criteria. So it's very demanding, it's very tough, but they just love it. It's it's that femininity, and it's that beauty and the power, and the empowerment too, and the high heels and the projects and the delivery, and all of that is really exciting. So I'm super happy that they're coming up to, or they're looking up to somebody like me to help them out with their journeys, and it's amazing. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. And I think also there's that camaraderie between the contestants. They get to know each other, and there's sort of a community, lift one another up.
Yes, you see a lot of sisterhood when it comes to women doing this. And now we live in a culture in which, we know that because we're women, we like to take on so much. It's almost like we're in constant racing with ourselves, and just we want to achieve so much. We want to be the cooks, the moms, the friends, the wives, the entrepreneurs, all of this at once, and it could be very demanding. So once you get that tribe of women, they just want to feel good about themselves, and they want to feel better about themselves. So they want to feel more confident about themselves. They come into these big teams, these pageant groups, and they just become really helpful with each other. And it's a really interesting thing to see that happen, especially during a competition. It is a competition after all, but it's a wonderful experience for them, and to experience it in such a way.
We have a number of people who come on who have been contestants. They've won different competitions, and it doesn't matter what age you are. We have someone, Miss Voluptuous. It doesn't matter what size you are. There's a pageant for everyone. And Philip, I'm sorry for leaving you out. What are your thoughts here as we're talking about women?
Now, I'm just absorbing, because I think a lot of people, as Silvia says, oh, pageant, oh, it's for the upper classes, or it's for the glitz and the glamour and all that. Obviously, all the wonderful areas of glamour are brought into this, and grandeur, and there's a word I'm looking for, elegance, and refinement, and this for me is hugely important and very powerful. And what I love, what Silvia was sharing with us, it's almost like savoir faire. When we have savoir faire, it gives us confidence. And for those of you out there who, and you don't need to speak or understand French, but the word savoir faire, when it's directly translated into the English language, means the know-how, or knowing what to do in any given situation. And when you know what to do in any given situation, boom, it's going to elevate you. It's going to elevate you in every environment. And even if you don't know what to do in a certain environment, you still have the confidence to put your best foot forward. You really and truly do. However, there's one thing that I know that Silvia does incorporate into her coaching and training, and that's the savoir vivre as well. You need to have the zest for life as well. You can't have the savoir faire and the savoir vivre separately. So there's that zest for life, the passion for life, which I think is fundamental. I really do. It's having a sense of humor, understanding to laugh at yourself, understanding to support your fellow colleagues despite it being a competition. There's so many amazing tools that are being imparted through this particular coaching program that Silvia runs and delivers. The second thing I want to sort of focus on in this particular scenario is the fact that when it comes to working with these young ladies, what they're doing for themselves is they're establishing, as you talked about, sisterhood, but you're also establishing the understanding and importance to look after one another, the networking aspect of it as well. There's that wonderful phrase, and Silvia, remember me saying this, and Dr. Jacalyn, you've heard me say this on numerous occasions, your network is your net worth. And this is very, very important. The third element to this is, and we've again spoken about this, the World Economic Forum is harping on about the fourth industrial revolution and what skill sets do we need going forward. And so by taking these amazing young ladies and giving them these incredible tools, A, firstly getting them off their social media platforms, but B, giving them these life core life skills to really interact, interject, and connect with people on all levels is like gold.
Absolutely. Yes, like you were saying, Philip, one thing that's that's so important for them is that the skills, the life skills that they get is not just for a pageant. It's not just for, I'm sorry, that must be my dog. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but my doorbell's going off. The life skills they get, they're not just good for a job interview or for a pageant or because they're going to a dinner with their parents or their business partners. They're life skills that are going to last forever. So it's like when a construction worker goes, I explain this to my little ones. I tell them, when you guys go into a construction or when you go to the beach and you have that little toolbox with all your sand stuff, to go play in the sand, how are you ever going to build that castle if you don't have the little shovel in your bucket? So you go out there and you need to make sure that you equip yourself with the best skills you have. In a lot of the trainings that I do when the girls travel abroad, what happens often is that they say, well, I'm going to be traveling to Mexico, or I'm going to be traveling to Bolivia, I'm going to be traveling to Egypt. Now I'm giving a training for people that are going to be going to Dubai. So all these different cultures have different sets of social skills, and not social skills, but cultural differences. And when they encounter, you arrive at a country, you go to a competition, or basically you're doing a job interview abroad to see if you can get chosen for the role of that year, for the reign of that year. And they get very, what am I going to do? How do I greet somebody? So a lot of these things are so important to just arrive somewhere and make sure that you can deliver the best job you can without having to worry about all these rules of social graces. How do I shake their hand? How do I look at them? Do I look in the eye? Do I not? So a lot of these things, just you can put yourself at ease when you work on these things and you study the culture. You learn so much as well. You grow so much as a person. And when you do all this learning and all this polishing and all this working on yourself, then this beautiful dynamic of confidence starts growing. And once you have that, it's so addictive. You just want to, you want more, and you want to better yourself, and you want to polish up even more things. You want to learn more. You want to travel more. So it's great. They're great experiences, and I recommend them to anybody that wants to venture into this etiquette and manners and social graces and public speaking. They're great tools to have for life.
Congratulations, Silvia. I'm so excited for what you're doing because, as a woman, as we age, we have to unlearn things. We have to replace dysfunctional patterns of behavior with new ones. And you're teaching young girls the things to do right from the outstart so that they are empowered and they feel confident. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to say, with this whole thing about age, I'm starting to see, I have to do a lot of reading on social media for different things. And I've been seeing models and spokespeople and the faces of different campaigns with these 50 or 60 or 70 plus models, and they are gorgeous women. And I'm starting to, I'm in my 40s now. I'm starting to look a little bit further into what beauty looks like, or what are the standards of beauty. And I'm seeing that there is there's a whole rainbow of possibilities out there. I mean, women at any age now, it's not considered old or outdated. There's beautiful things out there. And I'm not just talking beauty pageants. Actually, I'm not talking about beauty pageants when it comes to women of, more of older ages. I mean, there's beautiful women out there. I don't think that beauty stops at a certain age. I think there is a beauty stage for every age bracket that we get into. I think every age bracket has its own flavor and beauty about itself. And I think it's great for a girl to have enough confidence at a younger age to learn how to embrace those things as we get older. As little girls, we always dream, when I grow up, I want to be like this. When I was a little girl, I wanted to grow up to look like her. So now that I have become that girl on the poster, why would I feel embarrassed to be a certain age or to dress a certain way or to act a certain way? I mean, it has been a whole lifetime of work towards that. So, and it continues. The work never ends, right? So I think it's great that women of any age, they learn to appreciate aging as a beautiful thing, right? Not as something that, oh, well, we're sort of going out to date. No, why? It doesn't have to be like that.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I think it has to do with confidence, regardless of what age you are. And Philip, you said this before, but when you have the knowledge, when you know what to do and you know how to act, that is empowerment. And that empowerment is really the confidence. And we've got some comments here. Let's see, from Carla. Silvia is a great asset at our elementary school, a great model for our students.
Thank you.
Very nice. And a follow-up from
Amazing.
Carla as well. Very proud to be working with this strong, determined, flawless woman educator. And
Thank
another
you.
one from Cam. I hope I said that right. Hi, Silvia helped me in my journey on Miss World Canada. And even though I didn't win, the tools and advice will accompany me for the rest of my life and give me the confidence to thrive. Thanks, Silvia.
Thank you.
Wow, that's...
Yeah,
Thank
amazing.
you so much. Yes, it's really
Yeah.
nice and touching when you get feedback like that, because you know that you must be doing something right if so it's
And
very
what's so
nice.
amazing, Sylvia, what's so amazing is you wear the T-shirt. You are your brand, and people buy into, you know, people see you. There's the authenticity. They can see that this amazing woman has not just walked out, and clicked and waved a wand. You've built yourself up into, with all your experiences. You say you've taken this journey, and then you impart this knowledge with your students and this amazing experience that you've attained over the years. And this is the beauty about, I think, no one likes getting old, especially if you're healthy and you feel very young at heart, but it's inevitable. So let's embrace that, and let's take our experiences, and let's grow gracefully and beautifully as we get older. And beauty is not just the aesthetics. Beauty is, it's just, there's so much to that beautiful word beauty. And beauty really, I think we could redefine it right now, is giving people, mentoring them, helping them, guiding them, steering them, sharing with them, giving them confidence to put their best foot forward. It really is an amazing opportunity for anyone out there taking this on board today or in the future, that don't ever give up, don't ever stop dreaming and thinking of what you can offer someone, or what you can offer a group of people, who, whatever it might be. Every single one of us has so much to offer.
Yes, it's true. Going back to your initial question at the beginning of the program, it was a childhood dream. One thing I have to admit, I was quite spoiled as a child, being the only kid in the family. Actually, it was. I have to admit it. But it was the baby of the family. There was a lot of attention going on, so I was very sheltered and cared for, and it was good in a way, but it wasn't that good in another way, because it meant that I had a lot of things done for me, and something that I've always, and I noticed it. I knew about it. I wasn't complaining about it back then. But as I got older, I realized that I was, I thought at one point that the whole world was about me, or I wanted a lot of things for myself, and they had to happen no matter what. So when I started facing, going out into the world, I realized, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm not exactly going to find things by having an attitude or having, like an extra aggressive approach to things like many teenagers nowadays. And so I asked my mother if I could start doing things for myself. And she said, well, what would you like to do? You can start helping around the house. And I said, absolutely not. I want to work. So I started working at the age of 11 because I wanted to, really. I didn't, thanks to my family, my mother, we didn't have to, but it's something that I really wanted to, because I really wanted to put myself out there and get out of my comfort zone. So in Venezuela, my mom went and got me the public office. She went and got me the permit for children under 13 to be able to work part-time. And I was really fortunate to have that. I remember my first job was at at a party supply store. And I love being in contact with young kids, with children, and being able to help, to service, or to, work with the public. So I knew, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew that it had to do along those lines. And I just took it from there. And I said, well, what do you want to be when I grow up? Everybody would ask me. So I said, I don't know, but I just know I want to work with young kids. I want to help. I want to, I want to provide a service of some kind. I want to be helpful to people. So, and that's what I just sort of kept that in the back of my head, and everything I did was sort of towards that. So and then I got into teaching, I got into psychology, then I got into public relations, and I just sort of made my own way. But yeah, starting to work from a very young age was great. It was a great developing experience. And I encourage it to any kid out there who wants to go out and get a little job. Go for it. It's the best thing you can do. And parents, don't stop them, encouraging them. It's great. It does great for the soul. So yeah, it has been a great journey, and I encourage people to get involved in their communities and what they do, and to follow their childhood dream, because it doesn't matter how they end up, this is always going to make you happy. And it's always going to be a win-win situation for the individual, because you know that what you're doing it from your heart.
I love the inspiration and the passion that you just shared for everybody who's out there, that you put the pieces in place, you take the steps, you work with mentors and coaches, and all of a sudden it starts to come together. That's what happened for me as well. And I really encourage everybody out there to follow your dream, but you have to take action and surround yourself with the right people.
Yes.
Yeah, a question I have for the two of you, I think this is really important. When it comes to etiquette and manners, there are some things that we've known for years that have not changed in terms of how to live a life with manners and etiquette, but our world continues to change. So are there new things that are continuously coming out that we need to incorporate into our lives when it comes to etiquette and manners? Silvia, I see you shaking your head.
Yes. Do you want me to get that, Philip? You want me to answer that?
Please.
Yes. In, like Philip has mentioned many times, the world keeps on changing. It's super fast evolving nowadays, and now with technology is moving even faster. Distances have grown shorter. Communications have gone at hyperspeed. So we live in a world that's constantly evolving, and it's not the how it's evolving, it's how fast it's evolving. So when it comes to communications, the etiquette, the good manners, all of these interactions online, it's so important to learn to work on these things, to learn to use them adequately. When it comes to communicating through a screen like we're doing right now, it's so important, the projection and our confidence, and again, working on the right way of doing these things so we can come across, so we can communicate effectively, and we can network more effectively. So whether it's if a personal life, if you're a student, for your professional life, it's so important to keep on working on these things and polish them up as we go along, and always keep on top of them, because they're extremely useful. I wouldn't be able to talk to you online if I was not the right person to be invited to the show, because you invite people who, can talk, who have a topic. So it's always good to have those skills, because it opens doors for you and it allows you to reach to distances outside your city limits that otherwise wouldn't happen. So I think things like that, I mean, keeping up with technology is and how we merge the two concepts of technology and manners. How do we do that? So when you write a letter, an email, before it used to be letters, now it's emails, a message on social media, on WhatsApp. All of these things there are ways of doing this in a more positive way that can be effective for you in the long run. So it's yes, definitely we should all invest a little time and effort into learning how to use these tools adequately to make sure they last.
I love this. I'm all about lifetime learning. So I'm glad that there's continuously more and more to learn and to embrace and bring into our lives. Philip, would you like to add something to that?
Absolutely, so beautifully put. My addition to that really falls back to, I suppose, what one might look at the old school approach. Never underestimate how just being courteous and kind and thoughtful to someone is, and how powerful that is. How you stand out for the right reasons rather than the wrong reasons. It's mind blowing how many people have forgotten just these little skill sets, or haven't forgotten. They maybe just haven't been taught them. And this is where I think we in society have got an opportunity to really sort of look back and look at these quintessential tools that are so powerful, that can absolutely open a door for you at any given moment, because you put your best foot forward, because of the way you handle the particular situation, because you are that much more emotionally intelligent or self-aware. All of these aspects, just exactly what Silvia is alluding to. And Dr. Jacalyn, I know you, as a lifelong learner, you totally get this, grasp this, and that's why we obviously have this amazing program. It's all about learning. It's all about educating yourself. And going back to that wonderful phrase that Clarence Thomas wrote many years ago, good manners will open doors that the best education cannot. I'm not saying stop educating yourself at all. Keep educating yourself, because I've got another phrase that, show me a successful man or woman and I will show you their library. But it really is a combination of 100% knowing the rules of engagement and treating people with the utmost wonderful love, care, respect, and you've got a life that you could lead in such an amazing direction.
Yes, I agree with that.
I do too. I'm pumped up on this Friday. Yes.
Yes. It's Friday.
Silvia, I'm going to spotlight you. And obviously, you have a lot of fans out there who are really supportive of your work, which is fantastic. For people who are interested in working with you, how should they reach out, and what services can you offer them?
Well, I mainly work with Instagram. That's sort of like my platform in which I do all my communication and my advertisement. It's at Silvia's Academy altogether on Instagram, or they can just simply text me on WhatsApp at 1-514-293-2120.
Thank you so much. And the services that you can provide to them?
Well, we work on, I have developed a program that is very adaptable, because when it comes to beauty pageants, there is 4-month training, 6-month trainings to a year training. So it's all based on integral education, and there's a whole bundle of different things that can be adapted. So we do things like etiquette, table manners, social etiquette. We do wardrobe consultations to learn how to dress appropriately, and we do a study of the color palette, and we study a little bit of color theory to understand how, what suits you best, what colors work with you, what is the occasion, the time of the year, the country where you will be traveling to. There's also public speaking, how to deliver a speech, how to work on your voice, how to breathe. There's also body language for young girls. It's super useful, so they can feel confident in the way they project themselves, the way they sit, the way they walk, the way they stand. And not only for them, so they know that they have some basic right tools to approach different social interactions, but also to learn to read others, which is what they actually find most interesting and fun about this, that they can observe. They learn to be different kinds of observers when it comes to human behavior and the way that people move and their gestures. That's super interesting, and that's super fun to study. All of it it's part of a program that's all about integral education, and how all of these skills can complement what they already come with, whether it's their elementary school education or their high school, their secondary education, or their post-secondary education. So they're great tools to have.
Thank you so much. And I also just want to acknowledge that you, like a couple of our other guests on this program, your office is on social media, which I think is really incredible, that it's right there at your fingertips. And with this,
right here.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. So please do reach out to her on Instagram, Silvia's Academy. Silvia, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. Keep up this fantastic work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here with both of you, with my teacher, which I have the utmost respect and appreciation for. Philip, you have given me so much, and it's great. I'm so glad to have been here and shared this morning, this Friday morning, with the two of you.
Well, keep empowering women. I'm totally in support of that, and I really respect you and appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, Silvia. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too. Philip, you surround yourself with the best people. I say this all the time, but it's just every week I just shake my head and said, it's amazing. Another person who is bringing so much value to this planet.
Yeah, thank you. It is, Dr. Jacalyn. I literally say thank you a couple of times a day for the people that I've had the privilege to engage with, who've walked through the doors of our organization, and not only through our organization. As you can imagine, I wear the T-shirt. I am my brand. So all these skills that Silvia talks about, that you talk about, Dr. Jacalyn, that past guests we've had on our program talk about, I live that life. And let me tell you, just by giving someone a compliment, by being thoughtful, being kind, making a wonderful gesture, going out of your way to do something amazing, it's amazing that what comes back. I'm actually almost a bit speechless here to find the right sort of words, because it really fills me with such amazing goosebumps all over my body when you really understand how powerful these tools are. It's amazing. It really is.
And it gives you such confidence, and also distinguishes you from others who are not leading a life that's based on leading by your heart and being good and kind to other people.
Absolutely. It takes you into so many different levels. And again, when anyone out there, and I challenge all of you out there, if you're having a bad day, or your day's not going the way you'd like it to, shift your mindset into, I'm going to do something amazing for someone. I'm going to pay someone a compliment. I'm going to offer to buy someone a cup of coffee, whatever it might be. Go out there and do something incredible. You will see how your day sort of starts to change for the better. It is unbelievable. And I just, again, talking about being confident in connecting with people. So, for example, when you make an effort with people, and you make an effort to recognize people, and you show that you connected with them in the past, or you remember them from the past experience, I tell you something, what that triggers in someone that you are now connecting with is unbelievable. You will inevitably get better service. You will inevitably get something. And I'm not talking you going around trying to get things from people, but you elevate that person to such a level, they want to do something amazing for you. And I can share so many examples in that particular environment. For example, not so long ago, renting a car. I remembered the chap, and I hadn't seen him for just over 2.5 years due to the coronavirus. And I said, I remember you used to be at Terminal 2 at this particular airport. And he was wearing his mask as well. And I genuinely remember him. And I said, was your name Tino or was it Tinto? And it was actually Tinto. And I said, man, it's so nice to see you again. How are you? How have you been? No word of a lie. He says, I've actually just upgraded your motor car vehicle for you. Have a wonderful time, or whatever it was. Just because I made an effort to properly, genuinely engage with that individual, because it's about focusing at the now and who you are connecting with. So, ladies and gentlemen, the power of etiquette manners, the power of listening, the power of emotional intelligence, the power of having what I call a toolbox of core life skills will only take you one way, and that's to the moon.
Thank you so much, Philip. And thank you again for joining us today when you're on the road. I really appreciate it. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you, and who would you like to reach out to you?
Thank you. Anyone who's interested in engaging with our organization, hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. Please do send my colleague Orsa an email. You can reach me on WhatsApp at +44 780 885 9914. We love connecting and chatting. So have a look at our website, www.thebritishschoolofexcellence.com, and look around the website. Look at our YouTube channel. There's some really wonderful, valuable content on there that could help you in whatever your endeavors in life are.
All right. Thank you, Philip. Everybody, please reach out to him. The British School of Excellence is changing lives every day. So why not see what they're up to and find out how you can enrich and enhance your own life? Thank you, Philip. I look forward to seeing you again next week.
Wonderful, Dr. Jacalyn. Talk to you very soon. Best wishes. And goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Take care. Have a good weekend. Thank you all for watching us, whether it's on the live or the replay. We really do appreciate it. We're asking if you would go to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV, and click subscribe as we broadcast to numerous destinations. We'd like to kind of bring everybody into one or two, and the YouTube channel is one of them. So again, it's USA Global TV. I also want to share with you in terms of the power of listening. We have many of you who have taken our courses. When you take the first two courses, which are our foundational courses, then you are eligible. Here's the courses on the left. You'll see foundational courses parts 1 and 2. You are then able to take a quiz, and when you pass the quiz with 100%, you can be a regular guest on our television show, The Listening Mentor. So please go over to Eventbrite and put in the power of listening, or you can go to my personal website, drjacalyn.com, which I will be putting into the comments. Lastly, we have a brand new course, which I'm really excited to announce. It's called The Power of Listening, Part 4, The Transition, Facing the Shadows of Ourself. What is this about? We are transitioning from a 3D world, or a world of making decisions based on our ego, capitalism, to a 5D world where, in alignment with what Philip was just talking about, we're leading with our heart. We're focused on helping other people. How do we transition, and what do we do while we're in the transition phase? I am partnered with Madeline Chan, who is an international award-winning singer-songwriter, author, and producer, and we will lead this course to help you transition as we transition ourselves, facing the shadows of ourselves. So please, again, go over to my website, drjacalyn.com, or you can go to Eventbrite and put in the power of listening. All the courses are there. All right, that's our show for today. Look forward to seeing you later on. We have back-to-back shows all day today. We do stream live every Monday through Friday. We have 21 shows this week, and sometimes we have 23, 24. Each show has a different topic with a different co-host. Some of the shows I lead myself, and we're just happy to have you on this journey with us. And if you're interested in being a guest, you can go over to USA Global TV and book your session on any of our shows where it's open to the public. Some of the shows are not, as our co-hosts have their own guests that they bring forward. All right, thank you again. God bless you. Have a great weekend. And remember, be nice and give somebody a compliment. Do something nice for someone else. It will come back to you. Bye. Take care.